G1E control categories, repeater regulations, harmful interference, third-party rules, and ITU regions. Which of the following would disqualify a third party from participating in stating a message over the amateur service? Third-party communication is when you're allowing someone else to speak over your station, speak on a microphone, or when you are transmitting a message for a party who is not an amateur. Okay, and in this case they're talking about a third party, a person who's not an amateur, stating a message over an amateur station. If the third party is a prior amateur whose license has been revoked, then he is not eligible to participate in third-party traffic by speaking over your radio. Looks like we're not advancing. Okay, do you want to start that over again, Joe? Okay, we'll go on. You can just edit it. When may a 10-meter repeater retransmit the 2-meter signal from a station having a technician class control operator? If the 10-meter repeater control operator holds a general class license, if the technician is eligible to transmit on the uplink, the 2-meter uplink, then he's okay for the 10-meter downlink. The same thing applies to a satellite, amateur satellite. If you have a 2-meter uplink, the technician is eligible for that, and even if it has a 10-meter downlink where the technician doesn't have privileges to operate directly. In what ITU region is operation in the 1.75 to 7.3 megahertz band permitted for a control operator holding an FCC-issued general class license? Region 2 is what they're looking for here. And for some reason, they ask you these ITU regions, and since we're in Region 2, that's the only one that's ever the correct answer for it. So if you look at the ITU region map here, here is ITU Region 2, basically the Americas, including Hawaii, out here. Which of the following conditions require an amateur radio station licensee to take specific steps to avoid harmful interference to other users or facilities? This is one that was new to me when I started teaching general because I was not familiar with it at all. And you can see a couple here that might be throwaways, but none of them are. All of these choices are correct. When operating within 1 mile of an FCC monitoring station, when using a band where the amateur radio service is secondary, or when using a station that, when a station is transmitting spread spectrum emissions. Now we know from what we've said earlier about secondary use that, that B is true, but we may not have known about the other. So this raises the question is, where is there an FCC monitoring station? And you folks on Oahu, guess what? You have one. Here's Pearl Harbor. Here's the middle lock. And this 5-sided piece of ground right here is an FCC monitoring station. There you can see it more closely. So if you're within a mile of that, you have to take extra precautions to avoid interference. What types of messages for a third party in another country may be transmitted by an amateur station? Correct answer is C, only messages relating to amateur radio or remarks of a personal character or messages relating to emergencies or disaster relief. Which of the following applies in the event of interference between a coordinated repeater and an uncoordinated repeater? If you put up a repeater, and I've just recently gone through this, if you're going to put a repeater in a particular location, there's a frequency coordinator for your state or for your area who keeps track of where the various repeaters and what frequencies they're on and so on. and who knows if the frequency that you're proposing to use is likely to cause interference. If I just go, I can, as far as the law is concerned, I can just go and grab a frequency and put up a repeater on that frequency. But if my repeater causes problems with a repeater whose frequency has been coordinated, then I'm responsible to correct the problem. The one who has been coordinated is not at fault, doesn't have to correct the problem. And so the correct answer is the licensee of the non-coordinated repeater has the primary responsibility to resolve the interference. With which foreign countries is third-party traffic prohibited except for messages directly involving emergencies or disaster relief? There is a is prohibited. Okay, there must be a third-party agreement in effect with the country for third-party traffic to be exchanged. Is the basic rule. So in which foreign countries is third-party traffic prohibited? Every foreign country unless there's a third-party agreement in effect. You can find these countries in the ARRL website. Now, they have this messages directly involving emergencies or disaster relief in here because in general this requirement is waived if you're involved in disaster relief traffic. For instance, traffic with Haiti during the earthquake emergency down there and so on. Which of the following is a requirement for a non-licensed person to communicate with a foreign amateur radio station from a station with an FCC granted license at which a licensed control operator is present? B is the correct answer. The foreign station must be in a country with which the United States has a third-party agreement. What language must you use when identifying your station if you're using a language other than English in making contact using phone emission? The English is the language required for identification. You can do your contact in any language you want to, but you must identify in English. What portion of the 10-meter band is available for repeater use? The portion above 29.5 megahertz is the portion that's available for 10 meters, repeaters on 10 meters.